Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Chris with American English Online. Today we're talking about more than 15 different expressions that are plucked directly out of American gun culture. Like we said in the first video, which you can watch here, we aren't talking about whether gun control is right or wrong or expressing views for or against gun control. What we're doing is we're talking about a bunch, more than 15 different expressions that are plucked directly out of American gun culture and are super common in American English. Because, guns are a huge part of American history, whether you like them or not. So let's see some of these expressions from American gun culture. The first expression is just the word shoot, and usually it's used as an imperative. And it means the same thing as like fire away, which is also a super common way of answering when somebody asks if they can ask you a question. Hey man, mind if I ask you a personal question? Shoot, can I get your opinion on this? Sure man, fire away. Another super common expression that uses the verb shoot and is also in the imperative form most of the time is when we tell someone to shoot us an email. Now, that just means to send. But you might say, shoot me an email or shoot me a message. We don't usually use it for objects, but I guess you could. Maybe around Christmas time, you could say, oh, shoot me the package. But usually it's for messages and emails. One expression that we use a lot when people are trying to achieve something, or maybe someone started a business, we say that he shot himself in the foot. And that means that he did something that made it harder for him to achieve his goal. Or if the person is opening a business, maybe they invested too much money in the wrong thing. He shot himself in the foot. So he made it harder for himself to achieve his goal. Another super easy one, real quick, you say that I gave it my best shot. And that just means that I did my best. So I gave it my best shot. Sometimes when we don't have time to plan or we don't want to plan, we say that we shoot from the hip. And that just means that you do something without adequate planning, or maybe you're just doing it spontaneously, or you're improvising, right? You're not sure, so you just shoot from the hip. Another super common expression that exists in one form or another in a bunch of different languages is to shoot the messenger.
No man threatens a messenger. This is Sparta!
And to shoot the messenger means that you get angry at someone who gave you bad news, as if it were their fault. They just told you about it. They didn't cause the problem, or they weren't the person that, did something bad to you. So to shoot the messenger means to punish the person who gave you a message. The next expression, people don't really like when it happens to them, because to get shot down or to be shot down,
He shot me down, bang, bang. I hit the ground, bang, bang.
means that you were criticized really harshly. Either an idea that you had or a request that you made was criticized or denied. So maybe my boss asks for ideas about a project, and I give my opinion about what would work, and he says, no, it's a bad idea, it won't work, I got shot down. Or if I request some time off, and my boss says, no way, you can't go, you don't have any paid time off, I got shot down. The next expression is a shot in the dark.
A shot in the dark, a past, lost in space.
And that just means a guess, right? So if you're shooting a gun and it's dark, you can't see anything, you don't know where the bullet's gonna go. So a shot in the dark is a guess, or your best guess. Let's say you have a problem and you're not sure how to solve it. You're gonna propose a solution. You say, yeah, it's a shot in the dark, but we have to do something, right? So a shot in the dark. When we say that somebody shoots the moon, we're saying that they have high ambitions, right? They have lofty goals. It means that they are aiming for something that's difficult to achieve. Usually it's meant in a good way because, initiative and ambition in a good sense is a good thing to have. The next one is the verb to trigger. Now the trigger is the object that you pull when you want to fire the gun. But as a verb, it means to begin or to start, but usually with kind of a more explosive way. For example, the tragedy triggered emotions in everyone. So, to trigger. When we say that we drop the hammer on someone or on something, it can be because of a regular hammer, because a hammer strikes something with force, but also the hammer is the part of the gun that moves forward and hits the bullet. So you pull the trigger and the hammer goes click, and it goes forward and hits the bullet. So to drop the hammer, it means to punish someone harshly because that's a lot of force. The hammer hits the bullet with force and it creates an explosion.
He's dropped that hammer more than once on Markham.
To bite the bullet means to withstand a very painful or a very uncomfortable situation. And of course, we can't forget bulletproof.
I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Far away, far away.
Right? If something is bulletproof, it means that a bullet can't go through it. So we might say that something is bulletproof if it can't be damaged or harmed, or also when something doesn't have any noticeable flaws. For example, the lawyer's defense was bulletproof. So he had no mistakes in his argument. He had a bulletproof defense, an ironclad defense. Another expression that depends a little bit on understanding the parts and the mechanics of a weapon is when we say that we have our sights set on something.
Things that you need to do is to ensure that you are focused not on your target, not on the rear sight, but on the front sight.
The sights are the part of the gun that you look through when you want to aim. Also, you can say that something is in your crosshairs. So the crosshairs are the part that you use to aim when you look through a scope. So if you have your sights set on something, it means that it's a goal. You're looking forward to it maybe. So yeah, I've really got my sights set on a vacation at the end of the year. Or if something is in your crosshairs, it means that you're paying attention to it. Yeah, he's in my crosshairs. I'm watching him. I'm evaluating him maybe, in a work environment. So to have your sights set on something or to have something in your crosshairs. Another parts expression is lock, stock, and barrel. Now, I'm not going to talk about the parts of the gun, but the expression means completely or all of the parts. So I might go in to buy something and the salesman says, I'm sorry, we just ran out. The last guy bought all of our stock. He bought everything, lock, stock, and barrel. Now, it's not a gun store. The guy didn't buy guns. He just bought the whole supply. So he bought everything, lock, stock, and barrel. And it's common to use that expression after the word everything. Our last expression is similar to the shooting from the hip, where you do something without a lot of planning. But when we say ready, fire, aim.
Didn't give you a heads up, okay? But if I had, then
Tony, no more of this ready, fire, aim business. You understand me?
We're usually talking about something that wasn't thought through enough. Like there wasn't adequate planning, but it was also detrimental. You know what I mean? Because firing a weapon is serious business. So if I say ready, fire, aim, I did things out of order. I didn't plan well enough before I executed the plan. Because you're supposed to say ready, aim, fire, right? But if you say ready, fire, aim, that means that you did something out of order that could cause some sort of negative effect. So those are some more expressions directly from American gun culture. Again, they're super common. I can't express that enough. It doesn't matter what you believe about guns and gun control. These expressions are part of American English language, and I suspect even more than just American English, but most of them began in the United States. So don't be afraid to use these expressions because nobody's going to think that you are advocating for or against guns. Okay? They're just expressions that are an integral part of American English language. Okay? So don't forget to subscribe, click the bell notification icon, so you don't miss the next videos. And as always, let's practice. Like we talk about another parts expression